Hello, besties! Welcome to Martinez with Eddie, your ultimate destination for everything Bravo. Join me as we spill the tea, dissect the drama, and uncork the juiciest gossip from your favorite reality TV shows. And tonight I have two guests, and I'm so excited because I've been following Lars for a very long time, and his TikTok is freaking amazing. As a dancer, I appreciate people who had the talent of dancing, and he definitely has it. He's not only a dancer, he also has this creative mind that is freaking insanity. And also, his sister is a Bravo super fan, and she has real hot takes. And when I say hot, you're gonna listen to them. I'm gonna bring to the stage Lars and Ella.
Hello.
Hey guys,
Hey y'all. How are you?
how are you guys?
We're so good. We are so excited to be here. It's so nice to officially meet you.
Same. It's been a long time. I mean, first of all, Lars, talk to everybody about TikTok because I know you have a long journey with like creating this huge platform for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it happened all during quarantine. It was very like I had the time to just be making like 5 to 10 videos a day where I kind of started being a dancer, but then I kind of was bored of that and was alone and just put my phone on the fridge and started making like fun videos in my kitchen where the fridge would move the camera and it was fun, it was fresh and people would comment a song and I would just make it to that song and then we kind of over time got the recognition from like the artist who made the song and brands and now I do it full time. So it's a
I
fun
love that.
journey.
No, and that's really a lot of work. What people don't understand is like creating content for any type of content is a lot of work, especially like coming with something creative. Like that's how I noticed you because like I mentioned to you before, uh, I saw your first TikTok like back in 2021, and it was a sweetie song. And also, I remember you introduced me to City Girls Rodeo. I
Yeah.
never heard that song before, and I was like, "This is freaking amazing."
I know people come up to me and they're like, "Wait, were you on City Girl's story?" Because like they posted it on their account, like on their feed, and then separately, and then I kind of or people started being like, "Oh, I know you through JT," and I would be like, "JT, JT," and then there and yeah, it's fun. And then I would like bring my mom in a video, and people were like, "Oh, you make videos with your mom," so. It's just kind of a fun way to switch up dance and not make it so like mundane. Because sometimes those TikTok dances can get pretty boring. So I felt like someone needed to amp it up a bit.
Spice it up.
Well,
And you
yeah.
did.
And Ella, you are a Bravo super fan.
Yes, I don't know if I would say that's like my job title, although maybe it
It
should
should be.
be.
Put it on your resume. Put it on your resume. Bravo super
I
fan.
do feel qualified more than many other things to talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's
So
been.
how you?
Go ahead.
No, how do you start being a Bravo super fan? Like, what was like got you into Bravo?
I think it was Vanderpump because I was waitressing at the time and it was, I mean, probably like a decade ago. I mean, I can't remember the exact year. I think I was living in San Francisco waitressing and I loved seeing just like broke servers on my screen. I get this. This is my niche.
Who just like don't get along.
Yeah, and also like I love watching like and then I got into the Housewives because it felt like I was watching like a sociology documentary, like anthropological, case studies, whatever. And
whole
that's
experiment.
spin it to our parents. Like our parents were not cool with us watching.
Still not.
Still not.
My mom is, but my dad will.
Even then, she kind of like talks smack. She's like, I just don't get why you guys like this stuff.
Yeah.
But then she'll sit and watch it and just be hooked, and people are like, I don't get it. But then they watch it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
I know so many people like that. I have so many friends that are like, how and why you watch those brainless shows? I'm like, watch one episode and trust me. And so many people are like, now I get it.
It's like I equate it to like sports. Like
exactly.
It's just but it's like social situations. And I loved watching, that's when I really got hooked because I was like, I loved watching friend groups like figure stuff out. Really, the core of Housewives is like people talking about each other and then getting in trouble
and
for
like
it.
trying to do it behind each other's back and being like, well, why are you like they just like they never adds up to them and they're never in the wrong.
But we
like,
can
to us,
see
we
it.
Every aspect of it. And
I love
just,
that.
And it's
remember
also
when-
in social situations, I feel like we look at each other and we're just like, and I feel like I'm addicted to that feeling where it's like I see. I guess we don't talk about Lisa Rinna anymore, but I see what housewives say one thing to another, and I'm just like, oh, like on the edge of my seat. And I wish I don't have those kinds of friends. So it's nice to like kind of act like I do for 45 minutes.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
And like the best part is like when you watch Housewife, it's like just like, especially Beverly Hills, and it's like real rich, wealthy
Real
people's
rich.
drama. The like it's so amusing because you're like, how can they be fighting over like New York lately over cheese and caviar?
And like the whole restaurant thing, when it was like Catch, which is like a pretty nice restaurant to us, but to them it's like, I'm not a D-list model, so what do you think I'm gonna go to this? No, babe, it's not about that. And then just like in New York, how Bryn's like, but the double standard. But what about the double standard? And she's just like, I just don't like you. Like
I love
that. That I do need to implement into my life a little more.
Yeah, New York. I think that's the best part of New York. It's so fresh.
It's so fresh.
We really needed that. Like we needed to just like sweep away. I mean, I feel like Ramona kind of just like spoiled it for
Everything.
I agree.
And we just needed to wipe the slate clean. And like, I just love them. I love Uba. Like,
I love Uba.
I want to hang out. I want her sauce. Like, I want Uba hot. I want to get that.
And I love how she's always just like, I'll be there, but I'll be there late. You know, like she's like, I might show up, and then she like shows up looking the best she's ever looked.
Right?
Like, know what's going on sometimes. She's like, I'm not American. I don't know. I love when she's like, I feel like I'm watching a French film.
Yes.
I'm like,
and like, I mean, honestly, like if you guys notice, like this new crew of New York City girls. I mean, I don't know from my perspective, like somebody who like has like knows the same places that they go to. It just feels more authentic in so many levels because I do see the demographic of New York being represented on this show, like people from Brooklyn. When Sai talks about the bodegas, like that is New York.
And then the whole Tribeca thing.
Up and coming.
That's like saying like what, like San Francisco's up and coming. Like it's just it was like she just wanted to say something, and I'm kind of here for that because I do that all the time. But I'm also a little terrified of talking about New York with New Yorkers. Like it's not something that'll ever. I'm never gonna say the right thing. So like I get both sides of it.
True.
Yeah.
But when Jessel said like, no, Tribeca's up and coming, I had
to pause it.
I remember being a 10-year-old and hearing about Tribeca because our mom used to work at this store called Tribeca, and she like in San Francisco area. And I was like, what is Tribeca? And she was like, it's the best neighborhood in New York. So like, I've always thought that. So when she said that, I was like, And then Aaron swooped right in. Loved it.
I like their dynamic together too. Like Aaron, it was just, that whole scene was just prime Bravo.
I think that's another thing about Housewives that's great to watch is like, you get people together that like, yes, they might not originally have been friends, but where else do you see that dynamic? Like kind of besides reality TV, people that probably weren't friends, but then you have to see that they have to figure it out. Like they're forced to like make their way or not, So we'll see with those two.
And honestly, like a lot of people were complaining about this when they announced the cast for New York. They were saying, oh, these people don't know each other. I'm like, trust me, this is the best part because they're going to give you a great TV because they are getting to know each other. When I make new friends, I get the most annoyed, I get the most angry, I get the best experiences, I get happy because I'm getting to know new people. So all my senses are like peak because I'm trying to understand this new environment with this new person. So that's why I think New York works right now, because
Yeah.
as we are getting to know the ladies are working to get to know each other too.
And I feel like that leaves a lot of room for like just iconic, like, quotes and taglines. Like I say the weirdest shit around people that I just met that I didn't mean to say. Like I'll probably say something on here that I'll remember for 10 years. But that's just where like I love, like Bravo. Like I watch it and I'm like, they're never gonna live that down. I'm not gonna be the one to, not let them live it down, but I will remember it.
It's like Brent's tagline. I think that's one of the most iconic taglines for a.
Don't
It's like,
What date
I'll
your
date your
dad?
dad.
yes.
Rent free in my head.
She seems
I-
like AI generated. She's like too perfect for
She's
Bravo.
perfect.
She's like perfect, ginger, beautiful, like drama, flirtatious woman.
Reality
Bryn
star.
Whitfield, yeah,
Reality star.
industry
And
plant in the best
and
way.
and she has cemented as like the fan favorite for many people. Like a lot of people like different people on the show. Like I like Brent and Jenna Lyons, and somebody else who like Brent and somebody else. But Brent seems to be like a common denominator in like within Bravo fans, and it's like she is given some iconic moments for a first time housewife.
Yeah,
Well, and I mean, she, we were talking before, like a little bit about like mental health, and like she's really giving a really raw story about her childhood and her upbringing. And, you see that in the Bravo verse, but I don't know, she just like really early on came out and just was like real with it. And you could tell it was really hard for her. And I think
it still
that
is.
is
Like
very,
it still triggers her every time she talks.
that
about
is
it.
very like refreshing to see someone be real about their upbringing and their trauma. And I don't know, I just feel like that's very needed.
Because I feel like they are so not relatable, which is like why we watch it. Like I
Like
love it because
rich
of like
women.
rich women.
Yeah.
Like Beverly Hills. Like I watch it because I probably
It's a different universe.
may never live that life, but it's just like nice
You
to
will.
see somebody who comes on the show and is not like just putting up a front like this is my money, this is my family. Like she's like, well, I have me, and
Yeah.
let me tell you about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that she's doing it on a table with women who grew up in a more privileged environment. Like Erin is like wealthy. Like she came from wealth. She's like, like she goes to the Hamptons every summer. That she is like what's you call New York City society. And then you have Jenna Lyons, who's a fashion icon for many years, who also have a more stable upbringing than Brent, and she still is able to be like, hey, you guys might not relate with me, but this is where I come from and this is where I'm going to. So I appreciate that from her.
Same.
Yeah, not only is it like good for the viewers to see, but it's good for the cast.
Mhm.
Like you can kind of tell they were all very affected by her story. And I think that anytime you have, I mean, the Bravo like people, like the Bravo celebrities or whatever you want to call them, it's always evolving. And I think it's really just like important for them to have that sort of like diversity.
Totally. Just like conversation,
Yeah.
and just like it's not always going to be the same. But then I also loved how like Jessel afterwards immediately, was it Jessel? Yeah, she was like, oh, that's sweet. But so about my charity event, who charity event? Because we're selling passes.
Oh my god.
So
You do her accent really well.
I'm pretty good at it.
It's like a very soft British accent.
and it's
like,
always like
you're like, is
a
she?
question almost. It's like, you can come into my event, and then we're doing passes. Like it's almost like she's asking a question, and it's something to be
It's been a
studied
year.
for sure.
It's been a year.
It's been a year. Try
I
back.
just love that she's giving me. Somebody actually said it on Twitter, and I laughed because that's how I feel too. Somebody said like Jessel is giving Ramona without the racism.
Oh my god. That is
Because it's like that kind of like,
Whoa.
so
Funny.
like disconnected, out of touch mentality that you kind of like in some social quote like to like know when to say something. But
Yeah.
at least Jess is not coming off as like ignorant. She's just coming off as like, okay, maybe you should have said that in this moment. Maybe you just wait until the next scene.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing with like Leah's dad who died.
Oh, you're.
Oh, I always
not
say Leah. That's the old.
I love
cast.
Leah though.
I know. Throwback.
Mixuni?
Aaron's dad who died. I think it was.
Yes.
No, it was her grandma.
And she was like, "How was it? Was it good?" And she was like,
I hope today was great.
"It was fine." Like, as well as like a funeral can
could
go.
be.
Like, it was funny.
And when they went to the Hamptons and everybody's like, yeah, they were trying to be kind of polite about the house, and Jessel comes and like, this is too cold. This is too cold, and I can't get on Wi-Fi. Like we are in the middle of nowhere, and like I like how can you say that to the hostess sitting next to you? And like you're so disconnected. I love it.
Erin just took it too. She was like, I don't know. Like, I think that on one hand, Erin was like, I get it. Like, I would have maybe wanted a little bit more than caviar upon a long trip to the Hamptons.
Hungry.
But I forget who said it. Someone was like, her putting the Pringle out. She thought in her head, like, oh, that's more than enough. Like the Pringle.
This is a common theme, especially lately, is like there's just maybe not enough food. Like in the most recent Orange County
They
episode.
don't eat. They don't eat enough.
I mean, some of them do, but some of them don't. But that's a whole other
It's just
thing.
like it's like women their age though. Like they're just like, when someone's like, oh, I need food. And then it's like, I have food. Like they all have such different.
And you're like, this
expectations
isn't
of
food.
Yeah, like, this is cool, but I would love. And then it was like, I'm going, what is it called? I'm going to
Provisions.
Yeah.
No, but we were cracking up. We were like doing a little homework and like rewatching some episodes.
Okay.
And we were watching the most recent episode of Orange County when they all dressed up as each other. And
Love it.
like it was just so funny. They were like, where's the food? They have the charcuterie and they're like, is more food coming? And then somewhere Emily like gets a hold of a chicken skewer and she was like, I didn't know there was chicken. Throws it down.
Was holding it too. Like someone was
She
holding
takes it out of someone's hand.
and you see like it catch her eye and she's like,
I
there's
don't know,
chicken? And then she takes like the most minuscule like Squidward eating a Krabby Patty bite, like, and then just like throws it. And then you see her like look at the producers and I'm just
Oh
like,
my god.
I've been loving like kind of mixed into all the Bravo shows, like how much they're turning to the producers recently and like how much
Yes.
They're
you
like
just
really
see them and
breaking the
they're
fourth
just, like,
wall.
like really breaking the fourth wall. And I kind of love it because I would like a show like a kind of like a watch what happens kind of vibe, but like with the producers, like getting to tell their stories. You're reading a book, right?
I read the Dave Quinn book, Not All Diamonds and Rose,
Yes.
and that was a treat.
I think I want to read that after.
Because it's a lot of producers and like executives were interviewed.
Yes.
So very insightful. And I like learned a lot about like the making of the show. And I went to school for journalism. So like that's kind of my angle. Like I'm always viewing things and I tend to think that I'm like pretty media literate, but sometimes I get so wrapped up in housewives and stuff that I'm like fully but like forget that it's like a produced show. Like I kind of like lose that. I'm like, come on, get back in there. Like
what do you think?
Like,
have you watched the show? You're like, I don't watch scripted shows. And I was like, yeah, like the Housewives isn't scripted, but like at the same time, you can definitely tell it's like
it's produced.
Yeah.
Like I that's why I love watching these shows because I went to school for filmmaking and photography, right? So I understand the production process of creating the show. Like I know the producers feed stories to the cast. Like maybe they are on their ears telling like a little bit of what's happening so they can like react to something, right? But I love to sit down and just like enjoy the moment because it's so crazy at times.
Yeah.
And like just forget about what's happening because like I know a lot of viewers forget the power of like editing and forget the power of producing because people are like, oh my God, they're so mean to each other. Yeah, that maybe that was a little pre-planned.
Or cut up, you know?
Or cut up.
It wasn't said in that order.
And sometimes they aren't even saying it in that moment at all. You'll see like the side of their mouth saying something else when they fully just put a sound bite on top of it.
Yeah.
And it's just it's television, and I think that's why I love it because you never really know what's real and what's fake, and it's kind of just like it's a guessing game. Like I get when I'm trying to explain it to people, I'm just like I'm on the edge of my seat for every show all the time, and that's when I kind of steer off of shows. Is when I'm starting to be like, okay, like I know what's gonna happen. I know these people.
Yeah, if you're like if it's too like predictable, you're not interested.
Totally.
Yeah.
If it's predictable,
it's preventable.
preventable.
That's it. That's our dad's gonna be so happy we just said that.
Ooh, it's making me hot.
Yeah, we're like a little sunburnt, I'm realizing. But
We were at the beach today, so we're a little sunburned.
Or how's the beach? I haven't gone to the beach because we have one of the worst summers I ever experienced in my life.
It's been so humid there, right?
It's been raining all the time.
Ugh.
So planning going to the beach, planning going anywhere is like so hard. And I know the like they're filming Summer House right now. So I was like, maybe I should go to the Hamptons, and I tried to catch the stuff. I mean, it's fun to like know where they're going, but I'm like, it's gonna rain. I'm not gonna take a trip to the Hamptons just for no reason. So I'm happy you guys get to enjoy the beach. I need to go to the beach. I love the beach.
Come to California.
Come see us.
Oh yeah, I gotta plan a trip to California. I haven't gone in a while, and I really want to go to Tom Tom's. And now that they moved Palm right next to Tom Tom's too, I'm not going to Source and Sandins because I'm boycotting Tom Sandoval.
I like
quote, unquote.
Went for their holiday party at Schwartz and Sandy's. I'm friends of a friend of someone who's very good friends with them, and so it was super interesting. But it was like it felt like a startup. Like if two men were like, let's make a restaurant from nothing and like have some people put money into it. I forget what like made me giggle. Oh, it was Tom Schwartz with a tray of chocolate shot glasses.
Oh, the shot glasses that you eat
with espresso martini in them, and I like took it, and I was just like, like this is something a 40-year-old man would make and be like, this is genius.
You guys, we gotta do this.
People are gonna love it, and that's like that whole restaurant felt like that. It's also in a strip mall. I don't know if we're aware of that, but it was like, I'm not the biggest fan. I do love Tom Tom though, so I will be.
Yeah, I want to go to Tom Tom's because I hadn't gone to LA in a long time, so I just want to like do the whole Bravo trip once again. But I'm definitely skipping Swords and Sandwich, and I'm gonna give my money to Ariana and Katie's sandwich shop. I don't care what they sell it. I just gonna buy a sandwich, even if I just eat a little bite. I just love them so much.
I support.
Yeah.
You could do a little sandwich review on the podcast.
There you go. All the flavors and the choices.
It's right on the same strip as all the other restaurants, so you can hit all of them in one day.
That's awesome. Talking about LA, I know you live in LA. Have you ever been either where they're filming or you had like maybe like invited to like a Bravo filming or whatever?
Yeah. I'm very tied into the Bravo verse, I would say.
Yeah.
I just am friends with Ashley Darby from Potomac.
Oh my God, we gotta talk about Potomac too. We have so many franchises to talk about.
And kind of early on in my TikTok career, she's a dancer too, so like she would do my dances, we would interact, and then she invited me to a DirecTV drag queens and housewives event, which was just like me, Sonia Morgan, Ashley Darby, and Noella at a table just like getting drunk, which like how that's gonna go. Like dollar bills, like Sonia's like holding up my 9 West thrifted purse, being like, I thought it was Jeffrey Campbell. Like literally like putting my thrifted bag of shame. Said I was wearing pajamas. Like I was like, where the fuck are the cameras? Like what? Like
I love Sonia.
We love Sonia, but no, like I recently became friends with Allie from Vanderpump. So she invited me recently to that. They were filming at Tom Tom for the new season. Yes. And I went, and it was so busy, and it was like she couldn't even get up from the table. I went over to like say hi, and they were like, duh, and then like cut us off, thinking we were like in the main part. So we were just like standing there, and I was like, I know I'm gonna see myself in the back. Just like, and it was like before
just waited.
Day, so I was like, I'm gonna stop in, and then I just like waved, said hi. I got so overwhelmed. Like, God forbid I ever have to be where they're filming again. I think it's fun. Maybe like other places, but Tom Tom is very small and very packed. And especially when James is DJing, like that's, and the fans knew that it was going to be like filming too. So I was like, I think I like to be friends on the outskirts. So
On the outside.
catch me outside the cameras. Like I love
I
the
agree.
cameras, wrong. But
I mean, that's why we're here. We love the camera.
look at that. Little tiny thing.
But I agree with you. I have met a lot of Bravolebs outside the filming, events or BravoCon. Perhaps I got to go to the private party just for Bravolebs. So I was like hanging out with like
Fun.
every single Bravo in the planet. So it was interesting to see them interact outside the production of a show. You know.
And like cross franchises too.
Yes, that was the night that I don't know if you guys remember Jen Shah crashed a party at BravoCon.
Yes.
I think
No, I don't know
that was the party that she crashed. I was dancing with Jen Shah.
Oh my gosh.
And
My
the funniest part is like I honestly, I mean, obviously, I know she was going through her legal stuff, and I've been very vocal that, like, when it comes to like, elderly or like, victims or orphans or whatever, like, I have my opinions on that. So all I said to her, me being super mega drunk because I had like 100 freaking glasses of champagne. I mean, it was open bar.
You like aren't hanging out with housewives. They're making sure you're pretty.
Yes.
Is one thing.
Oh, they love it, and they love it.
That's their shtick. Anyways, continue.
So I said to her, like, I mean, I wish you the best. I tapped her on the shoulders. I wish you the best.
Like culture, like I wish you well.
And then she looked at me like, thank you. Because she was wearing this like weird, like furry, kind of like fur scarf. It was like fall into winter in New York. So, so I kind of pet her scarf like, I wish you well.
She's like, are you talking to the animal on my shoulder or are you talking to me? You're like the animal.
Oh my gosh. Let's talk about your favorite show, Vanderpump Rules, right? Now that we were talking about it, right? Any hot takes of the Bethany and Rachel's interview? I want to know your perspective, you guys. I know you guys listen to it.
Yeah. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start? I was a little disappointed.
Go ahead.
I was a little disappointed. I feel like, when I saw, I mean, the whole thing, the jury's still out on like the lawsuit because I'm like, obviously no one knows what that's like to be in it. And like, I would never discount anyone for their, experience. It just feels a little bit like Bethany is like, I heard that she, like 6 months before she filed the lawsuit, she was going to do a show, like she's really like had a lot from Bravo. But it was really interesting to hear from them. But when I saw like, the promo, it was like a woman's voice is very powerful. I thought it was going to be like, actually now that I'm saying this, we did listen to, I thought it was going to be like a little bit more feminist, I thought we were going to hear like, I don't know. I just was expecting like a little bit more of like a stronger angle from, just like, yeah. And, I think it was good to hear from, Rochelle. I feel like
Rachel.
It's weird to call her Raquel. It's weird to call her Rachel. I'm just going to call her Rochelle. And like, I really feel for her, and, I feel for like everybody in the situation except for Tom. And I think that, like you were just saying, like alcohol is such a big part of the sphere. And I think that's important to like break down and really, just like note that, because you are different when you're drinking and when you're, but it really felt like Rachel really was preyed upon. I mean, I don't know about by Tom. I don't know if I feel like Bethany was really focused on like production and like, how
they made it
Andy
look.
and all that. And it's like, yes, that is true. But at the same time, like this is just a situation of like a man preying on a young woman.
And also they were like talking about how he was offered like potential producers rights for the 11th season. And now it had us thinking we're like, maybe because he is still out, he's still going, he's still going to be on the second season. Like he hangs out with them, like he's still alive, where she's like having to delete all of her social media and go to therapy. And it just like, I think it attests to just, men in the spotlight using their power to get even more power.
And they did get into that. I think the first episode I was like, this is not like feminist enough for me. But then I listened to it today and they did get into like how, she was filmed without her consent. And I mean, to be honest, it's like I might have a hard time watching Vanderpump from now on, knowing that like Tom A has so much say in the production, and B that they cut out her being like, why did you do that? You didn't ask for my consent to like, he boycotted filming, right. In order to like get more editing rights. And it's like, I don't know, it just feels icky to me. And like Vanderpump has always been a little like dark in that sense, like they all, and that going in, but it's like, I feel like this last year, the fourth wall has really been broken, like between viewers and the shows. And I don't know, I might have a hard time like moving forward with Vanderpump, just knowing what we know now.
I think like one of the stuff that I do agree a lot with Rachel, like I'm not a fan of her, but I do not like when men take advantage of people, especially when they take advantage of women, right? Men with some kind of power.
Yeah.
And to me, the fact that it seems like Tom recorded this video without her consent, to me, that's just a violation of privacy in the first place, right? It doesn't matter what level of relationship they were going through. If she didn't tell him that you can keep it for you and all this stuff, that was a line that he crossed. So he's the problem to start with.
He's the problem, and they're not treating it like he's the problem. Like he just is really getting away scot-free, it feels like. And that just...
I just hope that they address that on the show. Like, we don't know what's happening. And based on what I read here and there, it seems like even though he's filming and it seems like he's cozying up to some of the cast members, Ariana still feels the way that she feels about him too. Katie doesn't want to also like talk to him or anything. So there is some people who still are not going to give in into, okay, let's just Tom do whatever he wants. The production comment, I mean, I heard Lisa today saying that is not true though, but he did have editing, kind of like an editing power if that scene was cut out for him to look a little better.
Yeah, whether he's like a listed producer or not, he has sway more. He's been on since the beginning. More than it seems like anyone else. Because this wouldn't have, I mean, he is the crux of the whole thing. Like this, I mean, there wouldn't even be a next season if he hadn't have been such a scumbag, So it's like, and so I did appreciate that in the Bethany and Rachel podcast, how they were like, they really highlighted how bad behavior is awarded, in this sphere. And that is unfortunate. And then sometimes it's like, wow, am I really like enjoying this? As a viewer, it's like, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes it's like, it is hard to like justify, but I think it's important to, like we were saying, like be media literate and be like, know what you're consuming and, be able to like, I mean, it's great to like be able to like voice your values and opinions on something like this, where it's like, I don't know.
The part that I always felt icky when it comes to this interview with Bethany is her intention, perhaps.
Bethany's?
Yes.
Yes.
I wish, I do want Rachel to have her voice listened to, because in a problem there's different stories and everybody should be able to express their truth. Uh, I do still believe that Ariana is the true victim of this whole thing, but I
Yes.
do believe that Rachel is a victim of Sandoval.
Yeah.
Totally.
That is undisputed. Like, she was preyed by him. She was younger. She was easy to trick into it because she wanted the limelight. And Sandoval knew what he was doing. He is a grown ass man.
And
You
he
know?
would have known that like his fans were gonna back him up, and she doesn't have as many. Like, no matter what, there were people still showing up to his shows, like in the heat of it, and like as a man in the industry too, like they get away with
It's a
so much
microcosm
more.
of like our entire society, is that like, you know, men get away with more.
And there's always gonna be someone to blame, and like
The woman will take
it's always
a
gonna
harder
be
fall.
just like a younger woman compared to like some 40-year-old worm with a mustache. It was funny.
Warm with a mustache.
And then him like right when he got the mustache, and it's I
See,
could talk about it all day.
It's funny that like I've always just seen him as such like a weenie.
He's
Like
such a weenie.
I yeah.
Weenie Hut Junior.
But you know, it's like some people have that like manipulation, that like weird manipulative charm. And like,
I think Schwartz has it too.
oh, don't even get me started on Schwartz. But
He's a Labrador in disguise as no, he's a wolf in the disguise of a Labrador.
yep.
He has this like puppy eyes and he gets away with it.
But he can be mean.
But he's so mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, that's one thing that I noticed that you're talking about Tom Sandoval having this manipulative charm that he used even on Ariana while they were together.
Yeah.
You know?
I was
That you
like
can
surprised they got together.
Same.
I was like, what is happening here? But it's like there are people like that. And it's like,
And like Rachel talks about how like he would say like we're a business partners. Like we're business partners on the show. Like we're sold as a couple, which makes me think like whether it was true or not, like I honestly don't care about Tom and Ariana's relationship. Like whatever they had going, it's just the moral of like him just causing a ruckus and thinking that he can get out, you know, with his hands
I
clean.
agree.
he just doesn't seem like remorseful at all. And it feels like Rachel's like, I mean, I was really impressed that she even like went to treatment. Like, I don't think a lot of reality stars would do that. I don't know. I mean, I think that's like a really hard thing to do, to do any kind of therapy, you know, is hard, but to like really go away and like face it. And I don't know. I think that's, I was impressed.
Admirable, for
and
sure.
she seems like she's really like, I don't know. She seems remorseful, and you know, I don't know. I just saw a lot of hate and vitriol towards her that like, yes.
Should have been towards him.
It should have been towards him.
Just at the end of the day,
At the end of the,
he-
just like copying what you're saying.
he should have been the one to go to treatment. Still should.
Oh
be.
yeah.
Actually, I'm never going to tell someone to go to treatment, but I think it's, you know.
I think this is a safe situation.
To me,
Maybe
I wish he would have gotten axed from the show, or like have this like exile experience,
right.
you know.
I don't wanna-
It doesn't sit with me well when I see him just filming like nothing happened while Rachel is dealing with this. I mean, I do feel like Rachel shouldn't come back to reality TV because obviously she is not ready for it. I think she should focus on her mental health, which should be her priority. That is her priority, right? As someone who had dealt with it in the past, and I have mentioned it here on the podcast, it's like having anxiety and depression. I mean, it's already a heavy weight that you have to deal with and know how to navigate it. Imagine add to it eyes 24/7 and cameras following around you. and not knowing how you are going to react to something sometimes, to me it's not the best place for her to do it, you know.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
so let's so that's it. I mean, my main problem with this whole interview is mainly just the person who did the interview, because Bethany obviously didn't watch the show,
Mm-mm.
because as she was interviewing Rachel, she was like Googling stuff, or like saying like, oh, I didn't know this. And like it was giving me Howie Mandel interviewing.
She
Uh,
didn't know they had been together for 7 months until she was like, "Oh, you've been together for." Like, I think she just saw the opportunity to
Bring it into the lawsuit,
bring it into the lawsuit and bring it into her
which
Bethany world.
feels like even more exploitation. Like, I hope to God that Rachel was paid for the podcast, because if she wasn't,
Someone was like, she paid for her own flights too.
she probably did.
like crazy. Like, it's all just like so backwards. And I think that, like, in order to be on reality TV, you have to sort of have that sort of, I mean, I don't even know like what to put words to it, but like very strong sense of like, you don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah,
and
kind of very social climby. Like, she felt like she just like saw the opportunity, took it. Like, to be honest, didn't know she had a podcast. Never listened to it once in my life. Has probably gotten so many viewers just from getting Raquel on there. And it just like makes you think like, this girl's been exploited enough. Like, unless you're paying her, unless Bravo has some sort of penny in this, like, it feels like you're just kind of adding to the problem. You know?
And the funniest part is like somebody commented on my Twitter like, "Oh, Rachel's to be," because I said like I don't like the Messenger whatsoever. I mean, I was a huge Bethany Franco fan
Yeah.
back in the day. I saw her as the first housewife who made her name climbing the ladder on the show. Like she came on the show as somebody who was just a working class woman. I mean, she was not the millionaire in the show. She was a chef for, I think, for Ramona or something, for one of them. She was a private chef, so
Right.
she was not the rich cast member. And seeing her build an empire on the show was to me inspiring. And I said like it's sad for me to see how she is she had this very bizarre obsession with bringing down Bravo, which, and I was trying to explain some of the people like I'm not against the message. The message is clear. They need to find ways to treat their talent better. They need to find ways to involve mental health into the conversation. They need to find ways to pay their talent for streaming and having an union. Yeah, is they need an union because reality TV is not the same as it was 20 years ago. We're not talking about Next or Run Raiders on MTV 20 years ago. We're talking about now a different level of fame.
It's
Yeah.
a beast. It really is a beast.
It's a beast.
So that's what that message I do agree. But is Bethany the person to be the one who doing it? It seems so unauthentic because, like you said, Ella, she was hoping to have a show a couple of months ago. And she was also praising Bravo when she was on What Will Happen Live not too long ago. So it's very, I don't know, it doesn't seem like authentic to me. That's
I
the
like
problem.
the way you said that like the
I
message
agree.
is clear. I agree with the message, but it just feels backwards. Like,
Yes.
and she's really benefited from Bravo, like a lot. So
Yeah.
I mean, God, they must just be so angry with her.
They probably would listen to this episode just like,
It's like Lisa Renna saying last week that, oh, Bravolebs should be boycott BravoCon. And I'm like, bitch, don't ruin BravoCon for me. But
It's just
like,
because she doesn't. It's just because she can't go. Like, they're just
yes.
mad. They're just mad.
And like,
we've all
out of
been
all the people,
like, we know how that feels. Like, if I were in their position, being kicked off a show in the limelight, I can't say I wouldn't say some
Mean
embarrassing,
things.
mean things about production.
But like to get the best lawyers in the business and like really try to take it down, it
feels like you're.
I just want to
Yeah.
hear from more people. Like I want to hear from more Bravo people that like feel that way. And what this felt like was Bethany, you know, pushing the Bethany clause.
Yes,
It's like,
that's how I feel like.
hey, but that's not really like what it's about. Cause like, yeah, I don't know.
Like I want to see Rachel on Sheena's podcast. Like I feel like it should have been like somebody like in the cast
Yeah.
who she has a background with, who knows everything, who's doing it simply just to
hear from her.
And get her word out there, because for them they're like, when we got
Right.
this, but like, and I'm not saying that like Rachel should, you know, just like take it and go, but I think it's like there's two sides to every story, and I think if she's going to tell a story, she should tell it to somebody who knows, and it's like
the situation
and is involved. Like I wouldn't say
Yes.
talk to Ariana or Tom about it, but maybe somebody that like punched you in the face, you know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, but I don't have nails.
that part. And she was like, I can't
That's
make
my
a
new
fist. And then
excuse.
they cut to her in the trailer and she's like, she's got one fist and then a white claw. Like,
But that's like my new thing. Like I can't do it. I
can't make a fist.
I can't. My nails. Like I love it.
I love that when at the reunion she's like, I can't make a fist.
I think she makes the fist.
Okay, this is a great segue into like
The hand.
the hands. So many, specifically on Orange County, like their hands are so like the Shannon, like, oh, oh, oh. And then she
She's
goes like
always
this. She's always like, if you talk about John Jansen again, ruined my relationship.
Paralyzed me.
And then Heather's like, don't you dare talk
Oh
about
my god.
What was Gina? Gina was like, it's too good. It's too good.
You know, talking about expressions, I think one of the most iconic faces when it comes to like overly produced faces is Kyle Richards. He's like,
she's always jaw is dropped. She knows that the camera wants to see that.
yes.
But you know what's so funny
It
is
feels like
like,
an animatronic. She's always just like you know when it's gonna come.
yeah,
Like it's, and we were talking about it. Like who was it? Heather Dubrow. Like seems so animatronic, so rehearsed. Everything she says. Do you want to do the example?
if you ever talk about my family ever again, you will lose much more than my friendship, and that is not a threat. It's a promise. Like you know, she wrote that in her head. Like 2
round
weeks
of
before.
applause. That was really good.
Yes.
Well, and it really ties into her being like Heather Dubrow of
Rehearsed.
sitcoms. You know, like she's got the. They know what they're doing.
They really do. They're built for it. Some are built for it.
Some are
and
built
are
for
not.
it. Some are built for it. And then in those moments, I don't feel bad watching it. I felt bad watching like watching Rachel. I felt just like
It's sad.
it's sad. But like some people, you're like they're fine.
Yeah, like
They're
Vanderpump
fine.
was sad. The season was like
It was dark.
it wasn't as entertaining as it was. I don't even know how to put it. Like it was just like I was like this
Many
makes
seasons ago.
like yes, I want to hear how the story
I'm
ends.
curious.
And like, what they're doing to
But it's
resolve
affecting me.
But it's like okay. Normally when I turn that off, I'm like, oh yeah, that was good. But like after that, I was just like, okay, now I'm like a little depleted. Like
I need to talk to my therapist about this.
Take a bubble bath, have a glass of wine, and think about life in that moment.
Just let it all
Detox.
Yeah, I agree. When it came down to the sandable, like just like you guys mentioned, like it was so exhausting that I just was looking forward for the reunion to be over. We had like in LA they had a finale party. We had one here in New York, and I went, and I was sitting there. I was like, people were clapping. Okay, the end is in, and I'm thinking to myself, I just hope this is the end. And 6 months later, we're still talking about it. So people, please, let's move to the next one.
Did you go to the New York premiere?
The premiere? No, I went to the New York City Bravo finale when they had like an event at the.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I was like supposed to be working with Universal at the new New York premiere, but it was my best birthday, so I didn't go. I do this because I was going to have a mini mic.
You're like, apologize. Oh, talk to me like,
No, like,
we can do better, America.
which like at the time I was like, oh, like I don't want to miss my best friend's birthday. But now after watching it, I'm like,
So you were going to
favorite friend.
the New York premiere party. That's what you said.
I was supposed to, so I was seeing a few because you're in New York and you.
But you went to the watch party.
I
So-
no, I went to the Bravo
Finale.
watch party for Vanderpump Rules reunion finale.
Oh,
So
fun.
was that where like Lala was there?
Lala was there, Brock was there, Sheena was there. It was a great night, and then somehow we ended up going to this bar in the meatpacking district. So it was me, Lala. No, it was me, Sheena, Brock, the whole entire cast of Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, Amanda, Danielle, Lindsay from Summer House, and my friend Bravo by Gate Larry was there. My friend Jenny from Bravo and Blaze was there. So it was the most random way to end the night. But like I said, it's fun to see these people outside the producing world because it's so entertaining.
I can't even imagine.
It's pretty wild, especially because you see them as their TV personalities, and then it's like you see them. What did Sonia Morgan say to me? Oh, it was she. When I left, she said to Ashley, like, "Why is he not a kid in a candy shop with me? Like, why is he
Like
not?"
she
just,
wanted
like,
him to be more excited to see her, which is like the premise.
It's the premise of Crappie, like them showing up, just being like, "Oh, here we are!" Like, oh, and everyone's like. But no, it's like I feel like that you see them, it's night and day with some of them. And then some of them you get exactly what you see online. Allie is like just as nice, just as sweet, just as charismatic as she is on Vanderpump Rules. But I can't say that about every, Bravo love that I
You have met.
Yeah. And then
True.
you could say the same. Like it's night and day.
I mean, how was Sonia though? Because Sonia she is a character. I
She
love
was
her.
cute.
So he was saying
I
that
love
like
her.
so her room on Crappie Lake, like right, it's like a mess.
Yes.
I just totally can relate to that. But you were saying right, you like
I like stopped in her room because we like walked to the carpet at the event, and then we were like going up with just like some of us and Ashley, and we like stopped at her room. She was like, "I need to grab something." It might have been alcohol.
and what you were saying is like,
like
that's what
something-
her room looked like.
It was like
that's exactly what her room looked like.
disaster, and I was, she doesn't put up a front on TV.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Last year at BravoCon, I don't know if she was she was wasted. She literally crawled to the stage. Literally. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Sonia. But to me, she is such a ball of energy.
Yeah.
Like it's very different from like other housewives from like any franchise. Like she's always on. It's like she is always on.
Yeah.
And she is a lot of friends said to me that when they watch Sonia talk, she remind them of like a gay man. It's like, yeah, I think in her mind she's a gay
that
man.
is so true.
Wow.
Well, she's one of those people that would be like, "What? I have a gay man living in my body," and like just like thinks she can say that. She's like, "I am a gay man." Like that sounds like something she would say, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah, I like the pairing for Crappie Lake. It's it's very like simple life, right?
Yes.
And I think the two of them together are great because like the energy, like they just don't stop. I mean, even Luann, like she was up at the crack of dawn. I mean, like granted, she's a fellow sober girly. Me, Luann, and Lala, like we're all. I love seeing sober people on TV because I'm also that. And Luann's up at the crack of dawn doing like her Pilates.
It's really, and like who else was Leah sober?
Leah's sober. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the sober girls in the Bravoverse because like Uba, Jenna, because they make it work in party situations, which is like my goal. Like I want to be able to like be a part of society still. You know what I mean? I think we need to give a quick shout out to our Mimi and Farfar. We just got a text from my cousin sent us. They are currently watching the live stream.
Oh my gosh.
Farfar and Sam and Peter, we love you.
Thank you for watching. Oh my gosh, I feel special. That was such a cute photo.
Right?
Oh, well, okay, so she is like a
Our
Bravo
Bravo
girl. Like she can keep up. Like she
She
knows
does
what's
keep
going on. She'll ask us when we're in town. She'll be like, you know,
We
what's
need to
going
discuss,
on? We
like,
need to just discuss what's going on.
Discussing like Scandival with her was probably one of my favorite conversations because one, her opinion is always
pretty
like,
spot on.
pretty spot on.
Yeah.
And like she notices things that I don't notice. She is friends with like women that like are not like that, but kind of like within the same
In the
realm. And she's like, I
caliber.
would never hang out with these people. And then that's like, you get it. That's why we watch it. And
Yeah.
she's a Bravo lab, Mimi.
Yeah.
In my brain.
That is amazing. So, okay, so let's talk about Potomac for real quick. Are you guys excited for the new Potomac?
I am.
Season coming out.
I need to finish the last season. I have like 3 more episodes. But the beginning of it was like, whoa.
Oh yeah.
It was good. Impact.
Last season, I'm trying to remember the main drama from last season, and it was I feel like it was such a long time ago. I know this starts when they went to the park and they were talking about what they were talking about. It wasn't Ashley Darby going through her divorce.
It was her divorce, and they were like, but
Your
she's
TikToks.
doing, I was just about to say, she was like, but she's doing TikTok dances, so she must be fine. And it gives 3 panels on the show, like her doing TikTok dances. Every single one was my dance. I was like, okay, well, where's my name on the screen?
Right.
Like,
Where's the dance credit?
Oh my gosh.
no,
I
but
love it.
it's,
I
yeah, they
love
were in the
Potomac.
park, like Ashley's divorce, which is like, you know, it's been
Wait,
talked
did I
about.
miss a trailer? Like I'm like feeling a little bit out of the loop. Was there a
No, it's not out, but they just finished filming. So I just
Okay.
wanted to know if you guys were excited about it because people are
My
talking
favorite
about
franchises.
people are talking about Cherise coming back as a friend. How do you guys feel about that? That's a mix,
Yes, it's great.
divided opinion.
I think that's great because she is the common denominator.
Mhm.
Like she was the one that like brought them all together. She is the, like the whatever, Maryland, Virginia, DC socialite. Like she's the one doing all of the events and stuff. So anytime that there's like a string that ties them all together, even if they go away for a while for whatever reason, it's kind of like Vicky coming back. Like, yes, of course we don't
Love
we,
it.
we don't know if we need it, but like it is good to be like, okay, this is where this started.
Mhm.
Yes,
You know?
I agree.
I think
Same,
having
that's how
yeah.
that's how I feel about OC. That's how I feel about OC. Like, am I excited for Vicky being back? Not excited, but is it working? Yes.
It's
Yeah.
working.
And I'm loving it. She's always been one of my favorite OC people, just like to watch on TV. Not like her personality, like specifically, but on
She's so
TV,
watchable.
she is so watchable, and she knows exactly what she brings to the table. good or
Because
bad.
it's the absurdity.
yeah,
It's like, what? And like the 3 of them together is trouble.
we were talking about her like list of like people what they have to have if they want to date her, and what did you say? You're like,
Well, I
so
actually
many
can't take
things.
credit for that. The Watch What Crappens guys said that. But like the fact that Compassionate was like number 18 on her list below Country Western Boy. I was like, yes, Vicky, you get your Country Western Boy. Oh my god.
Maybe compassionate. She,
Maybe.
it was perfect. She's perfect.
Bonus wasn't it a boat? She was like,
Yeah. But I don't need a boat, but it wouldn't hurt. Honestly, there's too many boats on this season. I'm like, in my notes, I literally wrote, not another boat.
I
love the notebook. That is so freaking iconic.
Oh no, because we studied up. We were
Yeah.
like, we're not.
The
showing up
second you
today.
were like, we're going on a podcast, I was like, I'm about to do a yoga teacher training and I have like all this reading I need to do. And I have foregone that. And I'm like, I have too much TV to watch.
It was a good excuse to like watch TV. I was like, God, I guess I need to study.
I'll do my
Like,
homework.
maybe blow the dust off my textbook.
My Bravo textbook.
So you guys, guests who are listening right now in the future, you need to do this kind of stuff because as a content creator myself, I appreciate all this because you
Right.
guys are prepared. You guys have a whole notebook with notes. People
We
who
don't sit
are
down.
listening, that's what you do when you go to an interview. Bethany Franco.
Right? Okay. Yes. And not to like be like, I went to journalism school, but as a journalist, too, I was like, you gotta do your homework. Like, that is mortifying. Like,
It's pretty wild.
and our dad's a journalist too. So he's always taught us, like, be prepared, like, know what you're getting into, really, like, you know, do your homework, like, show up and be ready to, you know,
perform
perform appropriately. I was shocked.
And yes, I wanna ask you guys about two shows that are gonna be coming very soon. One is, and we're going to Charleston right now, Southern Charm and Southern Hospitality. So
We love Southern
Yeah.
hospitality. Me and my best friend Lauren, obsessed with Southern hospitality. Mostly because it's like, I mean, we were talking about it before. Like, it's like Vanderpump in the South, A plus, but also like people that are still working at
Really
the restaurant,
working.
like broke, desperate to be on TV. Not desperate, but like there for it, not like used to
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
Jaded.
not jaded, and they like are young enough to where it's like, I feel like sometimes I feel like I can't relate to the problems the housewives are having with each other. Like, no, I'm not going to fight about one of my friends' divorce with their husband because
That's
simply
not
don't have
happening.
any. But I do have friends that are getting too drunk and saying some stupid shit. Like, I can relate to that, and
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that. And I think it's like now that Southern Charm and Southern Hospitality are like slowly intertwining,
Blending.
it's giving Vanderpump and Beverly Hills. Like,
Yeah.
it's exactly what I am needing and was looking for with Bravo.
And I love
100%.
who's like really like create, you know, Lisa Vanderpump. Leva's giving like what Lisa Vanderpump maybe never gave us,
Totally.
and that is just like some realness.
Yes.
You know, like it's like really, I don't know. I love it.
It feels like Lisa, like, it's so easy for her to, her name is so like marketable. Like Vanderpump, boom, I'm out. You guys deal with this. But Leva's like
She's
hands
there
in, she's there,
yeah.
she's giving the consequences. Like sometimes it's like Lisa would only come in to be like,
She's not a
"What are you guys
manager.
doing?" No, she's not a manager. Like she's kind of just like the maitre d, like there because her name's on it. But Leva is
She's in it, in the
she's
kitchen
in it,
cooking,
cooking.
not
Oh yeah.
figuratively.
What's her husband's name? I'm obsessed with them.
Lamar.
Lamar. And I loved Michael on Southern Hospitality was like Bonaparte, like he's a Bonaparte, like that's how you say it, like Napoleon, like he was like Napoleon Dynamite. He's like Bonaparte. Oh, I've rewatched it twice.
I got to meet the whole entire cast back in February because when Soho started, many content creators weren't taking it seriously because it was a new show and they weren't expecting the audience to react well to it because a lot of people were afraid that it was connected to Leva. And I'm like, Leva is like one of the most genuine, nicest Bravolebs in the planet. Like, she is as real as it is. As you see on the show, she's very caring and loving. So I was always confused by this really weird hate train that the people were going after her. The people were saying, "Oh, it's a Leva show. I'm not gonna watch it." I was sitting every Monday in front of my TV, tweeting like a maniac. So obviously, like, I was a content creator talking about it, and I got to connect with Leva, all the cast, and it became like a good friendship. So when I went to Charleston in February, at that point they were still not sure, quote unquote, that it was going to be renewed for a second season. But then obviously I'm a very fucking Snoopy ass person. I'm gonna find out. So I was like, so I found out there was some dates set for what it was looking like a filming time. So I was like, so I was like, they are going to get renewed. And then obviously I learned from it a little before than everybody else, and I got excited because that's the type of show that Bravo might or might not take immediately. Some shows are really good, and because people didn't watch them, they don't give them the chance to grow. Like, there was this show called The Real Girlfriends in Paris. I loved that show because it was so random. It felt because Bravo marketed as like the Real Girlfriends of Paris, and people were thinking like, oh, Real Housewives type of stuff. No, it was a whole different type of show. If they marketed differently, it would have been successful, but it just didn't pick up. So they
Yeah.
let it die on season one. Um, so when Soho started, I was like, oh, this show is really good. I hope people really watch it because the cast, like you guys said, is fresh, is interesting, is they have different background, different stories. So that's what I like to see. Like, you know, or you said you want to feel like you can identify with them. That's why like my favorite shows are not necessarily the housewives shows. I watch Housewives, yeah, I do, and I enjoy them. But my main like happy places are like Southern Hospitality, Southern Charm, Family
Yes.
Karma,
Yeah.
Summer House. You know,
Say Summer House. Summer House, like Vanderpump and Summer House and like Southern Hospitality all kind of like trigger something in my brain in the same way where it's like so do the Housewives. Like I watch Housewives
For
just
different
for different
reasons.
reasons than I'm watching like the kind of the newer shows.
Yeah.
In like
Yeah.
contrasts. But no, I love it. And I'm excited to see where Southern Hospitality fuses into Southern Charm with the whole Shep thing. Like Shep and Mia, like that's something that's gonna happen. Especially because I think it's you see like characters from Southern Charm coming in and like coming into Republic, and then you see
Right.
like it's kind of starting to fuse, and that's what I like when it becomes like a universe of shows and not just like one show and one
Like
universe.
nothing's
it's
in a
like,
vacuum.
Yeah, no, it's like kind of
and like pretended to know each other, or like they live in separate places when they actually hang out in the same freaking place.
Yeah.
totally.
I mean,
Actually, I got a message here and I want to share this. Somebody said, Mademoiselle said they should have called the Real Girlfriends of Paris the Real Expats of Paris because they were all Americans living in Paris.
do you
So you
agree?
see, I do agree. I think the name as it was a fair. That was what was a failure. Then they tried to promote the show as like oh they moved to Paris for love, and you watch the show. It was never about love. It was about them growing as individuals in a whole different city, in a whole different country. You know, that would have been more interesting to me. Like even myself as somebody who moved to America when I was 13, uh, having that experience of like going to a different country, kind of like morph into and learn about the culture and become one in society here, you know, that for me would have been more interesting to see represented in a different environment. But I do think Bravo failed them on the way that it was marketed.
Good
So
idea. It's,
It's
and
also
a lot of the show is about marketing.
yeah.
It's interesting. When I read Dave Quinn's book, the way they talk about naming the shows, especially in the beginning, like I think when they started, they thought Real Housewives of Orange County was just going to be the only one. Like they really
Yes.
didn't want it to be a franchise thing. And so they would kind of like name the show something else. And then they'd be like, let's just make it a Housewives show. And like, and look at what it is now, you know? So they probably were like trying to run off of the success of the Real Housewives franchise when it should have like been its own
Thing.
thing.
Independent thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely
like
agree.
shows that do the best on Bravo are the ones that kind of pop out of nowhere, like Vanderpump and Southern Hospitality. Like it's fresh, but it's also like something I've kind of been yearning for. I don't know. Like I like you said, like I like to watch Housewives, but I just don't relate to it as much. So I think, and that's the whole thing. People just want to watch stuff that they relate to. So
It's either you like relate to it or you want to like it's just an escape where you're like
escape,
I
yeah.
Escapism.
the opposite
I
from
have
my life.
no, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Also-
because when Housewives started, it was more like aspirational. Like people, obviously, they were watching rich people being just dramatic and stupid, but at the same time, you want to live that life, you know. But then you have the shows where you actually identify with the actual, you know, situations in it, you know.
And yeah, and then it kind of turned into like I'm so glad I'm in my life. Sometimes I feel like that. Like I'm so glad that I'm not on reality TV. I'm so glad that I don't have, you know, all of these things because like it complicates things, you know? So like there's two sides to that coin too, like the aspirational coin.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Orange County is a funny one. Like, I mean, Vicky, I mean, when she's like, I'm the OG of the OC, it's like, it's crazy. She really did start the show. Her and,
The whole franchise.
what her name? Jenna Koff or something like that. It was like her and one other one, but.
I have a friend that I had no idea she was a housewife of Orange County at one point, but like met at an event, have been friends for
Who?
months. Joe De La Rosa. Do you know who that
Yes.
is? She like, and I
Look
had
her up.
no idea, but she commented on one of my TikToks like, "This is how I feel for the finale too, like as a ex-housewife." And I was like, "Girl, what housewife were you?" And then she was full Orange County housewife, and I had no idea.
Oh yeah, I remember her. Oh, Slade. Oh my God.
Yep.
Wow. And then wait, was Slade the same guy? who
They're
got-
married Gretchen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're
I
married.
don't know anything about that. I didn't watch old Orange County. I've only watched, which I probably should. Now that I say it out loud,
I think you should.
I've only watched newer Orange County.
My friend. So I have two friends who like really were.
Shout them out.
I was going to.
Okay, it's great.
God, let me do that myself. Shout out to Sasha and Kate. But Sasha's currently in the backlogs of Orange County, and she'll send stuff sometimes, and it's like, oh my God. Like, especially like with Shannon, like seeing the way that she has transformed as a person and everything she's been through. Like it's, you know, it is crazy that like they don't get paid for when people go back and watch them on streaming services, because like that's a lot of the fandom is
Totally.
like going back, and
Yep.
it's fun to be like in 2009 for a second. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's seeing how dated the production is, and like, you know, all of it.
Same with
It's-
Vanderpump too. Like I always go back and watch old Vanderpump.
the fashion. Oh my God.
Fashion. Oh God. The
It's
early 2010s fashion was just something special.
something really special.
It was
Dude,
something.
those posters from the OC with those like old school like kind of drapery tops with like the gold jewelry and the weird. Oh my God, the 2010s.
Oh, it's like the long
2010.
And
So I was gonna say I agree. I think the old shows, when you watch them and you look back, it just you realize like, holy shit, this would not have survived now.
Yeah.
Like they were intense. I was watching Southern Charm because I love that show. Southern Charm is one of my
I
favorite
love Farm.
TV show. It's
That
messy.
one,
the birds and the bees and the
one,
one,
two, threes.
I was listening to that song driving the other day, and it's like the best feeling driving the highway, singing to that song, and just like feeling like
That.
I have never once listened to a theme song, a Bravo theme song outside of a show. That's
that one and "Raise Your Glass" by from Vanderpump Rules are like the best songs to drive to make you so like ready. You should
You
try.
should make
It's
a
like
Bravo like theme song.
playlist.
yeah, you should. I would tune in.
I would definitely listen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. No, but yeah, I was watching Southern Charm the other day, and I was watching the first season, and I'm listening to the conversation, and I'm like, how did we ignore all these like red flags on this show? How we just like literally said all the stuff on national TV? It was really crazy to me, and then
Like what?
what's
Like-
that?
Like what do you
Oh, like for example, like Tom, what's it called?
Thomas
Tom,
Raphael?
the stuff that came out of his mouth on national TV, like the being so misogynistic and like and not never got checked for it.
That's another example of like a woman taking the heat. Catherine took all the heat.
All the
And
heat.
they came around eventually. The cast came around because I'm watching the early seasons of Southern Charm right now too, and I love it. And they came around and they were like,
You love it.
you know, I love it. You know, Cameron was like, I'm sorry that you got treated like that. But, you know, yeah, things would definitely not fly.
No, and what's funny, like now you mentioned Leva too. Not that many people know that Leva has been on the show since season 1.
Right. She's like in the background.
Very background she was friend with Cameron. That's how
Yeah.
she got introduced, like a friend of Cameron on the first episode. And
Oh,
some people
yeah, 'cause
forget
they were
that.
privy together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
They're
it's like
so
people
stupid.
forget that.
they're so cute to me. I think they're like Leva and Cameron are like the cutest Bravo buddies. I don't know what it is.
I'm obsessed with Leva, the way she carries herself. I'm just like,
Are you excited for the new season? Are you excited for the new season coming out on September
so excited.
14th?
I'm so excited. I'm excited for more Paige on Southern Charm. I'm excited to see Shep and what's his girlfriend's name? Taylor's whole drama about breaking up. I'm excited to see a lot.
Yeah.
Allegedly, Taylor hooking up with Austin. What? This is one thing.
What's the deal? Why?
Like,
you ask why people like are attracted to Austin?
Thank you. Like, I had seen this guy in person. He's just tall. There's an ounce of charm.
It's the height.
Ounce of charm.
Tall guys get a really.
They do get it.
They get what they want.
Yes, they do.
Because
all white guys.
When he was on South, I was like, why are people fighting over this man? Especially
Sierra, who's beautiful, stunning.
two gorgeous, just like smart, awesome women. But I do understand that like I've also been into guys that I probably shouldn't have been into just because I was, drinking and in a friend group of people. Like,
And
it's
they were
like,
tall.
and they were tall. And they having new guys come to town and be like, oh, like they're coming to the house, they're coming to stay. Like, I get the excitement, like, especially if you're not talking to anybody currently at the house. Like, I get it. But the fighting over him, like, and especially when he's making it so blatantly obvious that, like, he doesn't care what he's doing. Like, he's like, oh, I like to see you mad. Like, that part, I was like, oh, so he wants a storyline and someone in his bed by the end of the night. And, like, I don't think he's going to get either.
I remember when he had that video leaked when he was having like a threesome or whatever, and all you
You're
see
an
him.
insane person right now, Madison.
Madison.
You're an insane person.
Insane.
It's like, oh my god.
I used to have a coworker named Madison, and just to annoy her, I'd be like, Madison, and she didn't know why I was saying that because she wasn't watching like any Bravo shows. And she's like, why are you yelling? I'm like, Madison.
You're like,
I love when people don't know you're quoting Bravo. Like I used to go, Baba.
Oh
You're
my God.
What are you saying?
me and Lauren always go. So TJ on Southern Hospitality would always be like, it was like when him and Michael were fighting at the tea party, and he just goes, trash. Up there with like one of my favorite Bravo, just like what's
Trash.
it called? Just like punchlines. Like I was
Soundbite.
just like soundbite, just like trash. And it's just it like echoes through my brain twice a day.
I love it. You know what we're gonna do now? We're gonna play a game.
Oh, our favorite. Like I watch what happens.
Yes, we're gonna do a Watch What Happen lifestyle game. So, I mean, the world of Bravo, I mean, it's all about sibling rivalry, right? So, we have from yes, the back-to-back picture. So, from Teresa versus Joe Gorga, Kathy Kim, and Kyle Richards. I'm gonna put you guys. I'm gonna put your sibling Bravo bond to the test.
I'm nervous.
So I'm going.
More than me.
I think you are.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna name two Bravolebs, and you guys are gonna say who you guys choose out loud. Try to do this at the same time.
Like, who we prefer.
Yeah, and I want to see like how many matches you get.
Okay, great.
Oh, I
this
love
is fun.
this.
Okay, so let's start easy. Kyle Richards or Lisa Vanderpump?
Will you give us
Kyle.
a 3, 2, 1? No, he has to give us a 3, 2, 1.
Oh, sorry.
Right?
Okay.
I was like, I know it's gonna be Kyle, but
Kyle Richards or Lisa Vanderpump? What? 3, 2, 1.
Kyle.
Nene Leakes or King Zolciak? 3, 2, 1.
Nene Leakes.
Nene Leakes.
From Summer House, Paige DeSorbo or Lindsay Hubbard?
Paige.
Ariane.
That was a hard one though. Like
No, I love Paige. I'm a
Here's
little over Lindsay. I think Paige knows what she's doing and she knows what she brings to the table, and Lindsay has no idea what she's doing or what she brings to the table.
Yeah, we love Paige.
Ariana or Rachel?
Ariana.
Candace or Giselle?
Ooh. Three,
1, 2, 3.
two, one, Giselle.
Candace. Wow.
I love Giselle because she reminds me of Denise, and I kind of miss Denise.
I
love
like
Denise.
Candace because he is so funny.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the way she talks to me is so funny. I mean, I love
And
them
she-
both. Here's the thing: any of these, like, I will love them both. I don't want any of them to think that I don't love them.
Listening.
No, and Candace is honestly so nice. People think that she's like mean. No. She is literally the nicest person ever.
Oh, I love
And she
that.
seems like she like had businesses before she like was on the show. She like really has her stuff together. And
Yeah.
okay, let's keep going.
Alexia Nipola or Larsa Pippen from Miami.
Ooh, 1, 2, 3.
Alexia.
Yes.
Larsa.
Yes.
I'm battling Larsa every day with who comes up first on Instagram when you type Lars. So I have to say it.
I love that though. Luann or Ramona?
1,
3, 2, 1.
Luann, yeah.
Okay. Grace Lily or Mia?
Ooh, no, I know my answer.
Wait, can I think for a second? Grace
Yeah.
Lily is the okay. Grace Lily and then Mia. Okay, 3, 2,
3,
1.
2, 1.
I love Mia.
I love Mia so much, but Grace and I are friends. And she literally, like, she is someone that, like, in an empty room, no, in a crowded room, I would go straight to Grace Lily. Like, her vibes are always good. Yes, she's a little messy, but part of the reason why I love her. But I also love Mia for like different reasons. But like,
I'm feeling
I do,
like nervous about all my answers. I like want to go back and change them.
No, there's no taking back here.
Take back.
Craig or Shep?
3, 2,
3, 2, 1. Good.
Well, there's
last
a
but not-
right answer. Like I feel like you're judging us when we say the wrong answer.
No, I'm not judging you.
That's for sure.
This is a tough one though. This is game changer. This is the last one. Teresa Judice or Melissa Gorga? 3, 2, 1.
Melissa. We have a lot of different ones.
I also like. There's been so many times where I've been like, I love this person. And you're like, I don't, and it's like there has to have the balance
because
like,
we're different people.
Totally.
And like same with my friends who love Bravo. Like I love when we have differing opinions, even though I'll be like, oh, like
it's a
I'm
little
like
shocking.
nervous.
I forget what I said about Schwartz once. Oh, I was like, if he proposed, I'd say yes, and you were like, what? I was like, oh, is that a hot take? And I guess it kind of is because, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like our answers. I feel like there needs to be a little bit of a balance.
I think. Oh, and if I want you guys to tell me if you guys were to choose one franchise of the Real Housewife, any city that you want to be part of, and why?
Like initially, I want to say Beverly Hills because I live in LA and I know that lifestyle a little more. But I think I would roll with the Potomac girls a little more. I think that's like more of like people I would want to surround myself with.
I think I would do RHONY.
New RHONY,
Yeah.
which is New York.
He knows what RHONY
I'm-
is. Are you
for
kidding
the
me?
viewers
Oh,
who might not.
I forget that there's viewers. I thought we were just talking. One, because like I want to live in New York, and I probably never will.
Yeah.
Well, actually, who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe we will. And I don't know. They're just so fresh and fun, but I also like weirdly want to say Salt Lake City. Like I don't know.
Oh, I forgot
why.
about that one. I do like that one.
I love that one. And
We
I
need
think
to do
it's
a
the
trip.
religious component. I think the fact that like a lot of I'm like, he's so done with me talking about religion.
No. It's just I was waiting for you to bring it up.
Yeah. I think it's fascinating that like there's like the like Mormon component and that they're leaving the church. And like now in the trailer you can see that like they're some of them are believers and some of them are not.
Yeah.
And I just find religion fascinating. So I think I would love to just like be a fly on the wall in that group.
Mm-hmm.
Now you mentioned Salt Lake City. takes on the reunion, upcoming season, and all the tea that we got out so far? Like Mary's back, the trailer's out. September 5th is premiere night. Any takes on that?
Little girl.
Little girl.
I'm excited for Mary to come back. I think, like, especially after the weird Jen Shaw, Heather Gay, Black Eye thing, like they almost lost me. They almost lost me.
Same.
But now I'm like, it's go time, baby. Like I'll give you one more chance to like. And I think Mary coming back, and who's Angie coming back as a character, not a friend,
Not
like,
Angie K.
not Angie K, is exciting to me because I do like her. Every time she's been on screen, I've been like, okay, I do like that. So
I love how like there's some names in the Bravoverse that just like repeat. Like the fact that they have that Orange County has brought another Jen on with a boy, Jenna, with the two N's. Boyfriend named Ryan. Like the last girl was a Jen, but
With
her
Ryan.
boyfriend with Ryan.
Right.
And the fact that there's two Angies on Salt Lake City, I don't know.
and
There's
like the
something funny about
Lisas,
the
it's like
Lisas.
it's too.
Like
it's
how
too
many?
good. Lisa Barlow, Lisa Vanderpump, Lisa Rinna.
There's a Hochstein from Miami.
Yep. It's
It's
just
a lot.
it gets confusing, but I feel like I like the nicknames that come out of it. So I like it.
Jenna.
Jenna.
That's another.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited for Salt Lake. This is. I'm not even gonna say it. Never mind.
Don't say it.
This is a not Bravo show, but Sister Wives premieres on Sunday. Another like weird like religion show that I love.
But
So
that's reality TV.
it's reality TV, and there's been a big breakup, so I'm excited about that.
Yep.
So we have a lot of
Ooh.
TV coming up. I mean, when is the Beverly Hills trailer gonna drop?
Most likely either mid-September or at the end of September because the new Beverly Hills supposed to air in November.
Yeah, it's
So
like a
usually the trailers come out like a month and a half before the show comes out.
Did you see Kyle Richards and Morgan Wallen.
Wade.
Morgan
Morgan
Wade.
Wade.
Morgan Wade's music
What's
video.
going on?
I think the main headlines of the season are going to be Morgan Wade and Kyle.
Well, Kyle and Mauricio.
Kyle
Kyle
Mauricio.
Morris,
It's
yeah.
gonna be Kyle. It's gonna be Kyle's Ozempic. It's gonna be Kyle Mauricio. It's gonna be Kyle and fucking Morgan Wade. Like it's gonna be all about Kyle, and I think that's exactly what she wanted
She's
because I
gonna
don't
be.
see anybody else in the meantime like building up their storyline before it starts. Like I have no idea. Erica Jane. I went to her. What was it? I went to Erica Jane's like Vegas residency launch party, and like that's all I know that she might.
She did a
Shots.
Vegas residency.
She's about to.
She's about to. She's about to start. I think it's this weekend or next weekend.
Yeah, which she was not too happy with me. I bumped into her 3 times, and she was just like, which made me so happy there weren't cameras. I heard there was going to be cameras when I got the email, and I was like,
You're like, I could not be iced out on
if I was
TV.
like if I bumped into Erica Jane and that became like what I was known for,
Your
was like
storyline.
being in the way, which is like I already want to do this insecurities. Like I don't need that.
Yeah, I'm excited for Beverly Hills. That's like my that's my franchise. That's my core franchise. Like I watch OC. I'm obviously in New Jersey because I grew up in the suburbs in Jersey. That's kind of like I love my Jersey girls, but like my true passion for like Housewife, like blossomed when Beverly Hills came, to be. I love Lisa Vanderpump.
Housewives was through Beverly Hills. I think because it was related to Vanderpump,
Yeah.
and the backlogs of Beverly Hills are really good.
Too good.
Mm.
And with the sibling stuff, like that's really real. That's
Yeah.
real shit.
And I'm excited that Kyle is on the hot seat this time because she can get away with a lot of stuff sometimes.
Right.
So it's just sitting back and
Producing,
producing.
God.
giving face,
Always picking up a new plot line.
give me the deers like headlight with Joe dragged to the floor.
Right.
The Kyle face. And the split. Kyle splits are like
The
we get
split.
splits.
Yeah, so,
Is Sutton coming back?
yeah.
Yeah, so I saw an interview with Garcelle and she was saying that she feels like Kyle's the one that is going to be on the hot seat during the reunion. So yeah, it's probably her season, her time to like.
There's
Ourselves.
always got to be someone in the hot seat.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, how many housewives go all the way through? Like, not many, right? Like, she's been
Right.
Kyle's been on every single season.
Yeah, only Teresa and Kyle are considered like OGs at this point.
Because that's like a long time to get away with stuff.
A lot of time to like make up for things that you've said and like make it right again. Especially in a friend group. Like
Yeah.
I feel like she was always just like either the one doing stuff or the one like mediating.
Yeah.
And she shouldn't have been.
Yeah, she's
Right.
always been like the glue of the group kind of thing.
Yeah, like the
Mhm.
middleman. Middle woman.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too.
So you guys, anything you're gonna promote? Is your time?
Promote.
I don't have anything to promote.
I would say just, follow us on social media and
Come to my yoga classes.
come to our yoga class.
Yes.
It's what you see is what you get. So, we just had so much fun chatting with you. So thank you so much for having us
Thank you,
on.
Eddie. We love
No,
you.
I'm so happy you guys came on, and I love when like different universe collide, like Bravo universe and TikTok and all this stuff. So it's like such a fun way to like just to like chat about nonsense. I love it. You know?
It's really my favorite thing to talk about is nothing, but like
Yeah,
so
me
much
too.
fun.
It's, yeah, exactly. It's like garbage, but it's also like
Like
diamonds.
compostable, like-
Compostable. Yeah, exactly. We're regenerating here. Like,
And like, and since now I know you guys love Soho and So Charm, and those are common. I want you guys to come back again, and whenever So Charm and Soho are like airing, we can just dissect all the episodes and just trash talk all of them.
done.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Music to my ears.
Oh, Lars and Ella, I'm just really happy and thankful you guys came on tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation.
We
It
really
was
did.
really lovely.
It was so
You're
much
such a
fun.
lovely human. Thank you for having us.
No, thank
Also,
you
what's
guys.
What's on the wall behind you?
What's
This?
the newspaper
Is it
clippings?
newspapers? Yeah.
That is wallpaper.
Oh, that's cool.
Next time
Yeah.
we're gonna have a better background.
We have a candle.
we do have a candle.
Hey, is that's the good. All the details. That's all about the details.
And like it smells so good, right? You can smell it.
So, I'm just gonna say to people who are listening and watching, please go and check Lars' TikTok. Give us your all the whole entire like account handle, your name
You
handle.
can find me at Lars Gummer on everything. It's first and last name, and it's a fun time. Good follow. You never want to miss
There you
out.
go. That's where it's at. And for those who are listening right now, and you know the deal, go follow me on Instagram, Twitter, at Martina with Eddie. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and my podcast, where you can find awesome special guests like tonight, Lars and Ella, and Bravolebs, and also recaps of every show on the Bravo universe. Don't forget the BravoCon is coming, so get your tickets ready, your luggage ready, your fashion, because it's going to be an awesome time. And Bravo released the list of all the attendees today, so go check it out. You guys, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And like I always say,
Maybe we'll see you at BravoCon.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
yes. So let's go. Okay, I want you guys to help me end the show. I always say bye, besties. So I'm gonna count to 3, and
Okay.
you guys gonna say with me bye, besties. Okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Bye.
Bye, besties. And